And some of you probably know this one. And this one shows a chimpanzee in labor, and she puts herself upside down with her butt in the air and her head on the floor. She's very flexible. And nobody makes her do this. It's very obvious that she chooses this. And as she's doing this, she's got her hands, here's her vulva, and here's her clitoris under her thumbs, and she does a lot of touch of herself. And then sometimes she stops and she pulls the baby's hair a little. She does this. Okay, so we're like the chimp. We can actually touch ourselves. We have to teach women to do that. And some will go, you know, you can get over it. It's yours. Your arms are long enough. Why do you think nature made you this way? Could be, it's a good idea. Yeah, and so if they learn that and you give permission. But then there's this technology. Okay, because we're talking about preventing tears. So we have a kind of technology. It's called and you know, maybe the woman is single. Right? Maybe she's got no partner. Maybe she doesn't want to go upside down. I don't know. She gets one of these. She doesn't put it inside, but you know, it has different controls. She can find what's the good one. Because what we're trying to do is get the blood out of the brain, get it here, so that she can get really like this. She's made to be able to. Women don't know this, that women don't know that the blood supply, men know this, right? Sometimes it's here, it's all over the body. Sometimes it's here. Nothing much here. Just a little bit damp. And that's when things get big and hard. Now in the woman it doesn't get hard, but it does get big. It gets big and accommodating because maybe the baby is like this. So some babies like their hands here, and then you've got elbows to deal with. And that can be a more painful labor unless you get enough blood here. So people don't know, and I didn't know in the beginning, that this is regulated by the brain. Yeah? And if the brain is all busy going, what if I tear? What if I tear? What if I tear? My neighbor tore. What if I tear? It's up here. It's not here. You know, men don't think. I mean, young men don't think. What if I don't get an erection? What if I don't get an erection? What if I... No.
Wasn't it you told about that the baby came out like this?
Yeah.
The vagina was no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one where this midwife told me the baby was like this, and she kept them from pulling, and the woman actually opened enough to get around all of that. It took 11 minutes. And the breech baby was okay, but yeah. I'm sure all of those doctors were really scared. She kept... So that's the thing that I've been amazed by, because you know, this Amish community, many of the women have had 10 babies, 12 babies, 14 babies, and when the vulva already is open, when the dilation is not so much, because the body knows it's going to open. And then suddenly this can go to this, and it can come. Usually with a first birth, you don't see this. Although maybe you do in an indigenous culture. But I'm working with, civilized, supposedly Americans. And with the first baby, I usually saw this is opening very gradually. But one time, and we got a video of this, she was going to have a breech baby, and the bottom of the baby came first with the legs, the feet were up by the face. So this is really quite a big thing. And before it was really pushing her open, she was already open. It looked like an Amish woman having baby number 7 or 8. I thought, but it's baby number 1, what's going on? And I asked her later, how did you do that? And she said, well, I used the mantra you gave me. And I said, I didn't know I gave you a mantra, what was it? And she said, well, when I told you how afraid I was that the baby's head would get caught, you said, no, you're going to get huge. And you showed me with your hands, and then she believed me. And every time she pushed, it was kind of a long push, maybe 5 hours. And we don't always have a 5-hour push with a breech. When we do, we listen after every push. We have a listen with the Doppler. And the baby's heart was great, so we went, okay, well, fine. And so she was already well open. Every time she pushed, she said, I thought, I'm going to get huge, I'm going to get huge, I'm going to get huge. That was the mantra. And that made me understand these figures, the stone figures called Shilanegig, you know, that you have in, you know, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and some other places.
What's that?
It's a, let me see if I can draw it. It's a, it would have been on an old stone building, pre-Christian maybe, and then it became a Christian church. But you could have a figure that looked like this.